Hey everyone, it's Orit Krug here, back with episode 51 on Mind Your Body. I have not published an episode since episode 50, which was over a month ago, and I want to update you on some changes that I'm making to the podcast, and the reason why I kind of feel like I've been a little MIA, and that has much to do with what this episode is going to be. So the podcasts from now on, besides two more that are coming that I've already recorded in audio, they're going to be shorter. They're going to be about 30 minutes long, recorded in video and audio, so you can watch it. You can just hear it on the go as you have been, and you can also read it because I'll have the podcast transcribed. I've been really going back and forth, not just about my podcast, about where to go next with it, but also in my business in general. And I've been overcomplicating things so much in my mind that I've had what feels like the biggest creative block in my life. I don't know why this is happening. I just know, maybe I'm hitting up on some growth soon and, some part of me is holding me back. I'm not sure what's going on. But I've really been struggling, and, I sort of feel like I've been letting you down by not posting another episode sooner. But I know that you're all pretty understanding, and you've probably been pretty busy anyway, I think. This is what I'm telling myself. If you have been missing the podcast, I do apologize. But I'm going to try to be consistent again. And I want to talk more about this for the first episode after 50, about what happens when you lose trust in your mind. This is Mind Your Body, a dance movement therapy perspective on the integration of our emotional, cognitive, physical, and spiritual aspects of our being into one more aware and whole existence. If you're a new therapist, if you're a new healer, you're kind of just jumping into the field. If you're new at anything, really, if you're new at starting a business like me, it's so hard. It's just like doing anything new, it kind of makes you feel like you don't know anything. That is how I have been feeling. It's like, there are people everywhere telling you, it's kind of like being a toddler and having a lot of different authority figures in your life. And one authority figure tells you to do something this way, ride a bike this way. Someone else tells you to ride a bike a different way. Or you're going on a new diet and someone says, oh, you should only eat kale and no carbs and very low fat, and someone else says, oh, you should go on Weight Watchers and just watch your points. And this is already a big struggle in your life, and it does not help to get all these different opinions, and that's kind of where I've been. And I remember feeling like that as a dance therapist because we had a lot of different teachers, and I had a supervisor at school, and I also had a supervisor at my internship, and everyone has a different approach and a slightly different belief system and theoretical framework, and it's confusing. I was going to curse. It's very confusing. So this is where I'm at now, and it's weird that this place of uncertainty bleeds into other parts of your life, like places that I know that I'm really good at, I'm really proficient at. So I feel very confident as a dance therapist, and I have been for the last several years. But now I feel like I don't know anything because I'm hearing from different business coaches and strategists that you have to share your things in a different way. And I'm getting stuck on things like the title. So I'll have an idea of what to share, and then the title, it's time to make the title, and I'm like, wait, I don't even know, what was I gonna talk about? I don't even know this. I don't even know anything. I don't know what to say. And so I just stop. And this has been really strong for me. And so I wanted to share with you what helped me, what's helping me. I don't feel like I'm through this yet. But if you feel like you can relate to me, whether you're in this place now, if you're in this place or you've been in this place before, it's probably going to come up again. You're kind of losing trust in your mind. That could be from an emotional place too, but yeah, it's definitely from an emotional place, but also from an intellectual place. Like, this creativity and this intellectuality that you have is getting lost and totally feeling blocked. And so I was lying on my couch today. I feel like I'm on some of my last threads. It's been really hard. And so I was lying on my couch and I was not being very nice to myself. And I was just thinking, I don't know anything. Like, every time I try to make some content, I don't know anything. I don't know how to do anything. I just don't know how to do anything. And, I know that I do. This is the way I've been feeling. And this is the way I felt so strongly in the moment. And I thought to myself, what would I do if a client was saying this to me in a session? Of course, I would bring this back to the body. I would help them come back to their body. And so I was saying, I'm going to do this for myself. I'm just going to bring it back to the body. There's got to be something that's going to help me right now in this very vulnerable time. Because, as much as I can advise people to move a certain way when they're in a tough time, when you're feeling really, really low, like really low, it is so hard. It can be so hard to move at all. And maybe part of that is because the movements that that are suggested to us, like, there's a lot of information out there saying when you feel low, go for a run, go to the gym, get up and stretch or whatever it is. And that is so far from the way that you feel when you're so low. Like, getting up to sit up on the couch from lying down was very, very hard. That's something that I did not see that I could do. And so to even think about doing that, I have not been able to go to the gym. So, it's such a big gap from where I am to where the advice is telling me to be. So I want to give something different right now. And I want to tell you what I did. I know I went off on a little tangent there. So as I was lying on my couch, I decided to fight back to this voice in my head. And I said, I do know things. I don't know what I know right now, but I do know how to do things. I do know how to do things. I know how to do something. When I bring it back to my body, I know how to do something. At the very least, I know how to breathe. At the very least, you know how to breathe. At that moment, I went straight to my toes. I said, I know how to move my toes. And I was wiggling my toes. And that provided me such a sense of relief in that moment. Like, I have control over something and I do know how to do something. And it's so basic. It's so simple, saying it and maybe even doing it, but it provided the biggest relief. It's like, yeah, wow. Just thinking about moving my toes and just doing that for a while. I can do something and I do know how to do something. I know how to move my body this way. And then I tried it in other body parts. Tried it in my hands, my arms, and in my legs. Tried it in my head. I can do something. I know how to do something. I know how to move my body. And it may not be that much right now, but it's everything to me in this moment. And eventually I was able to get up from my couch and actually sit up on my couch. I didn't quite get up yet. And Aaron and I are moving, so I decided I can pack up some stuff for the first time since we got our house. So I went out and packed. And I was like, I didn't even feel ready to do some intellectual creative work. Did not feel ready to create any content. But I packed some stuff. And these little simple movements brought on more movement for me. It got me out of my head for a while. And then I stopped packing. And then I felt not so great again. But I had this idea, like, what was the thing that got me going? That got me out of this huge funk? And, that kind of stood up to this voice in my mind that was talking to me in a pretty critical way. And so here I am creating content, brand new content for the first time in a while that I actually feel good about. I hope it's helpful for you. I tend to overcomplicate things, especially when learning something new, and I'm not set on the strategy. I'm not very, I don't really know what the right way to go, and I have so many options. Things tend to get overcomplicated. And so if you know this place, come back to the basics, come back to simplicity. It may not seem like a lot in the moment, but everything's on a path and everything is part of other movement, like on a continuum, I should say. So even if it doesn't seem like much in the moment, it's doing something and it's helping you. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Whether you need this now or another time, or both, I think this is so important. And to appreciate the basics, to appreciate that, our bodies can move even in the tiniest ways, even if it's just breath, because I know, not everyone is as physically able as me or the person next to them. So to have trust in our bodies, that is so important. So stay tuned for some more podcast episodes. I've got a few interviews lined up. I'm still looking for more. So if you're interested in being on my podcast on Mind Your Body, it's not too late. I definitely have a lot more slots to go. You can email me at orit.dmt@gmail.com. Send me your topic. Send me 3 talking points. Send me your picture and send me your bio. And if it looks great, if it looks like a good fit, I will send you my scheduling link and we can go ahead and schedule the podcast. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for being here with me and for being part of this community. If you want to continue keeping up with me, if you want to watch this in video and you're only seeing this in audio, you can go on my website, mindyourbodydmt.com. And I'm also very active on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Orit Krug DMT. Until next time, bye.